Hey friends, it's your pal Mike Shea from Sly Flourish here with another episode of Sly Flourish's Lazy GM Prep. In this show, I go through steps from Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master while preparing for my Sunday role-playing game. In this case, I am running a Tales of the Valiant game set in the world of Midgard, which you can see right over there, called Scourge of the Dragon Empire. It is set in the Dragon Empire region of Midgard. This show, like all of the work of Sly Flourish, is brought to you by the patrons of Sly Flourish. Patrons get access to all kinds of awesome tips, tools, tricks, all kinds of adventures, a separate podcast, a dedicated Discord server, and all kinds of other stuff you get for being a patron. It's a really good deal. You'll see me using some of the Patreon tools today while I'm doing my prep. But most of all, patrons help me put on shows like this. To the patrons of Sly Flourish, thank you so much for your outstanding support. It has been 3 weeks since our last game. The end of summer has been hard. I had two friends that both went off to do a project on their own, so they were out, and that immediately pulled two people out of the rotation. And then I've had other people that have been going on trips and other people that just couldn't make it. And so we've had a really hard go of getting people. I think last week I have 7 players, six regulars and 1 on-call player, and of the 7, 6 of them couldn't make it. So, it was a rough time. But we're back, and today I only have 4 of the 7, but we have 4, and we're going. I am, however, just in case somebody can't make it or something happens, I'm bringing my copy of the D&D starter set with me. So if we only have 3, we're still playing. Damn it. I'm going to play. Anyway, that means I need to figure out what the hell happened last time while we're preparing for my game. So we're going to jump over to Obsidian. I'm using Obsidian to do my campaign planning. We're going to go over to campaigns. We're going to create a new template for our notes today. And we're going to go to Dragon Empire. And that date is correct. And then we're going to look at last week. Well, right away, I can say who's in and who's out. So Emavin is out, Gaudenzia is in, Cal is out, Mateo is in, Rowan is in, Tolstoy is in, Emmert is out. So the 4 characters we have today are Gaudenzia, the ranger, who used to kind of work for the Dragon Empire in Ibelin's area, Mateo, who is the mechanist, Rowan, who is the veteran fighter, dwarven fighter, and Tolstoy, who is our resident wizard, who has made pacts with fiendish folk. So those are the characters today. The start of the game is the teleporting back to 4 40 fingers and the shrine of the lower left hand. So in our last session's game, the characters were in the middle of an infiltration. One of the things I'm going to talk about on the Lazy RPG Talk Show later today, but we'll talk about it a little bit now, are adventure types. I've been thinking a lot about adventure types. I wrote a series of articles on Sly Flourish about adventure types. I'm kind of rethinking them again. Not big changes, but like kind of thinking about what are the adventure types and adventure models that are different from one another that we run and that we get our heads around. And we know that like how we prep them and how we run them, the pitfalls that they have and how we solve those pitfalls are different for these different adventure types. And one of the adventure types that I think works particularly well is infiltration and heists. And in infiltration and heist adventures, the characters infiltrate a place that they have some information about. There's sort of a dynamic group of people at the location. The characters have a very clear goal. And getting in, doing their goal, and getting out is kind of the arc of what happens there. They work well because we don't really know what their approach is going to be. The characters have lots of agency in how they take that approach, as we're going to find out when we talk about what happened here. And there's a lot of dynamic components to them. But like dungeon crawls, there is a focus to what's happening, which means that as a GM, we can prepare it pretty well. We know that there's one location where there's one goal. There may be one or more groups of people in this thing. So we have a process by which we can figure out how to set the stage and then let it happen when it happens at the table. And that's one of the reasons why heists and infiltration and heist, I bring the two together, because whether the goal of what you're doing in there, heist is an obvious one, but heist is so focused on ripping things off, stealing things. But the reality is it could be assassinating somebody. It could be planting evidence. It could be rescuing somebody. There's lots of reasons why you might go on an infiltration and heist adventure. I would rather just call them infiltration adventures, but people recognize them so much as heists. I feel like we have to say heist as well. But this was an infiltration and heist adventure. They were breaking into a place called Sapphire Song, which is a villa above a town that is built to monitor the flow of goods up and down a major river. In my map on the lower right, it is between Ukmal and Sarkland. This is this river, and it's along that bend is this town called Segatan's Anvil. And above Segatan's Anvil is the villa of Sapphire Song. And there is a dragon named Stonegaze. What was their full name? Deja Stonegaze was their name. They are an adult green dragon half basilisk. So they are a green dragon that can turn people to stone. And they have adorned their palace with victims that have been turned to stone. Eustasia mostly stays secluded and lets her son operate the place. Her son being Mensuth Willow Viper. I think I changed the name Willow Viper to something else, though. I can't remember. But apparently I didn't do it here. And Mensuth, who was a young yellow dragon. They slew Willow Viper. And so in the last one, they were making their way through. They were using their Helm of Teleportation. And it's actually the Helm of Teleportation is an interesting thing. So I had a whole big arc of the campaign where they were going to get this Helm of Teleportation. And I think that really worked out. It was fun because it's a really, really game-changing item, right? With the minute you give the characters a Helm of Teleportation that has up to 3 charges of teleport per day, that changes how they're going to do the things they're going to do. And I like that a lot. It's different for me to set up things because now I know they can get in, like the escape is no longer an issue, right? Like they know they could just use the Helm of Teleportation and teleport right out. So now when they're doing these infiltration missions, it's a very different circumstance. But now the bad guys know they have a Helm of Teleportation, right? So now there's dangerous things going on. It's fun. Anyway, so in the last session, they were infiltrating Sapphire Song. They used the Helm of Teleportation to go straight to the audience chamber. They caused all kinds of chaos in the middle of there was a bunch of people there that were kind of talking to Yellow Viper, to the Willow Viper. Sunspear. So I think we changed Willow Viper to Sunspear. Mensuth Sunspear. Did I have that right? Or was Sunspear Sunspear wasn't the name of the spell scale vassal. Let's see. There were multiple spell scale vassals as well. And now I can finally use the actual stat block which I'll load up here in a minute. Strifeblade was who they fought. They killed Strifeblade. There's another one named Doomshield who they have not killed. Another spell scale vassal. Doomshield is a void-based spell-scaled vassal, which is going to be interesting. But boy, they killed... So I renamed the Yellow Dragon to Sunblade? What did I say it was? Sunspear. They killed Sunspear and caused all kinds of catastrophe and chaos in the place. And then realized, instead of continuing to go directly after Eustasia Stonegaze, they left. They teleported out. They said, we're going to leave and then come back. So because they were beat up, right? They had a rough go. They fought a bunch of powerful guys. They're like, we're not going to stand it. So they teleported out and now they're considering teleporting back. And that could be fascinating. Like what's going to happen when they come back is going to be fascinating. But for now, they are headed back to 440 Fingers. So 440 Fingers, just for those that haven't been keeping track at home, 440 Fingers is kind of their hometown. 440 Fingers is a outpost that happens to sit at a really vital junction between 3 of the Dragon Lord's empires. They sit between the realms of Parsis the Hidden, Adasha of the Burning Wastes, and Ibelin the Illustrious, 3 very powerful ancient dragons that rule over different regions. They are also sitting atop a ley line or a shadow road which means it's pretty easy for them to get into the Shadow Road. And they're sitting at a geographical spot between the major city of Ashadar, Sarkland, and the Gizmiri deserts. And this is a waypoint where traveling groups go to load up on water and provisions before they make their way west, if they're making their way west. The characters actually have a smuggling caravan. They have tapped into, turns out that I think it's Ibelin had been smuggling goods through, against the pact of the Morza. The Morza have this pact, right? It is the Marathi pact. And it's that they won't transfer magic items to their enemies. And secretly, Ibelin has been transferring magic items and has been kind of trying to do it to plant evidence against one of the other Morza, Parsis the Hidden. But Parsis knows this is going on and has allowed it. But now the group is tapped in there too, which means they have these options to drop magic items in and pull magic items out of the caravans that are making their way west through the Wilvan Ashadar trading company is the name of the trading company that operates there. And they have tapped into this trading company and now have this angle of smuggling goods in and out. And one of the things that they have smuggled is they smuggled a spy from the Nurian Natal region to the west into the heart of the Dragon Empire. So there is a new person here in 440 Fingers who is smuggled in that kind of is a liaison between the Empire of Nurian Natal and the characters. So that's one thing that we're going to definitely. So we're going to introduce the Nurian spy. I can't remember if I named this. Let's see if I do a search, and let's see. I'm going to search within my session notes and look for spy. So I don't think I have a spy yet. I don't think I have a name for them yet. I don't know if I made them in my Dragon Empire. Let's see. We'll go for NPCs. I don't think I've created one yet. These are all NPCs that I do. Kaizia Tiger Spur, an agent of Nurian Natal. So I did put one in here. Excellent. Look at me. Thanks, Past Mike Shea. One thing I'm going to do just right away is I'm going to export this list to PDF and make sure I've got a current NPC list. Why is this taking forever? Oh, there it goes. And I'm going to print that out so I have a copy of these NPCs for my notes. And then we're going to put them under notable NPCs. And we're going to say, introduce the Nurian spy, Kaisa Tiger Spur. I think Kaisa, so what do we know about Kaisa? I think she's a middle-aged, relatively unkempt woman, kind of sun-spotted skin. Been out in the wilds for a while and kind of has like a brash attitude. I'm actually going to, the archetype that I think I want to use for this is, somebody help me out with the character's name from Slow Horses. Gary Oldman, Lamb is his name. We will add this to my NPC notes. Whoops. Yeah, Gary Oldman is an amazing actor. So now I've got like an archetype, right? And we all know, if you've watched that show at all, you know exactly what that character is like. And the idea of like, I like switching genders, so it's a woman, right? And she's been a spy master for a long time. She's been around, and she's kind of nearing the end of her career, and generally expects that like if she gets captured and burned to death by dragons, well, there's worse ways to go. She could get the rotting disease. So we're going to introduce her. One thought I had was, and I'm gonna drop in some stuff right now. Ooh, why is my thing is so big? We'll go to the commercial maps. Why am I going to the map? I've got my own map gallery. Duh. Patrons of Sly Flourish get access to the Dyson Logos map gallery, which is a gallery of all of Dyson's commercially available maps. I don't know why I loaded this one. I've got a local copy that's way faster, but looks like we got it. So one of the things I wanted to do was give the characters a home base. We've never really talked about what their portion of the caves, the shrine of the lower left hand is like. And I thought it would be fun to give them a blank map, and we can discuss like what's where. That one looks a little complicated. I don't know. Maybe that's okay, right? It's sort of, that one might do. I'm looking for like caves that might have shrines in them. This one's not bad. It's got, I think I want one that's got like multiple entrances and exits. It wouldn't be bad if it had a waterway. I don't want anything too big. 10 to 12 chambers would be good. It's funny, I'm using this map for another place and another, but something that they could make their home, right? Something where they can be like, that's my chamber and I'm going to decorate it a certain way. I think that's fun. Probably not too crypt-like. Nothing too sinister. Take a look at some of these. So that one doesn't grab me as much. This one's not bad, and we would just have to mark like where the entrances and exits are. That might do. This one looks pretty... It's got a lot of like entrances and exits and things like that. I think I kind of dig this one. This one looks kind of fun. It's got secret areas. It's got multiple paths in and out. It's got a good number of chambers. I think we're going to use this one. So I'm going to save this image. And we're going to go to my vault, my Obsidian vault, campaigns, Dragon Empire maps. And I'm going to keep the original name, but I'm going to add to the beginning. All right. And then I'm going to open that guy up and print it. All right. So we got that. So that's one thing. Build out. And a secret is that the shrine is blessed to make it significantly harder to find for those who don't belong or are invited. So one thing is like, I don't like threatening home bases, right? And the idea that this home base is a few miles, the home base is a few miles from the 440 Fingers main camp, I think works out. But I don't want to, even though there's like a bunch of Dragon Empire people lurking around 440, it just doesn't sit in their mind. They can't hang on to it. And maybe like there'll be some attempt later for them to kind of understand, that they have to keep the thing secret. But I don't know that I'm going to threaten it exactly. And I'm not going to, this is just like they need a place where they can just go. And I think that's the place that they're just going to go. But thinking back to the characters and how they're going to connect to this next session, we have Gaudenzia. Gaudenzia is the ranger. Let's see. She probably can tell that the lower left hand, Shrine of the Lower Left Hand, has a permanent pass without trace. Right? And they're like, wow, it's hard to find this place. Mateo is our mechanist. Is there any mechanisty sort of ficery sort of things that they might know about, or any other? Let's look at Mateo's info here. Sidrian appointed partisan from the Seven Cities area who worked alongside Master Kiprak. I don't really have much backstory for Mateo. They are 9th level, by the way. So what could Mateo recognize? Probably like the junction of, we'll call it LLH, SOLLH. It has many connections, but manages to stay out of sight at the same time. Rowan is our resident dwarven fighter veteran who recognizes the wars that are going on, can imagine the chaos going on in multiple reaches of the Dragon Empire because of their actions. Tolstoy. So one of the angles of a future session is going to be them going into the dry lands to go get their gold. They got millions of gold in the dry lands, and they want to understand it. So I think like there are factions in the dry lands probably fighting over the gold they dumped there. They did say they're going to return to Sapphire Song, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen there. So I'm going to have to stay on my toes for that kind of thing. I don't know that they're going to be super eager to jump back there. And one thing I want to throw in here, just like if things get boring, a night raid by the Ghostwalkers. I want to throw in a Ghostwalker raid, and we will have for this raid Ghostwalker Hill Giants. Let's jump over real quickly to the Tales of the Valiant guide, and we will look at Giants, Hill Giants. Hill Giants are CR5s. They are on page 188. Let me drop that into my Obsidian notes. And who else? So hobgoblins. Let's take a look at hobgoblins. Are they under goblins? We have hobgoblin conjurers and commanders. Let's take a look at orcs. Are there orc spellcasters? I kind of want some orcs. They don't have orc spellcasters. They have warlords. But I really want spellcastery types. So I think we're going to go to the hobgoblins. We have the bugbears. It might be cool to have bugbears and champions who are on page 195, and hobgoblin conjurers who are on page 198. So I think that the white hand, the ghost walkers. So ghost walkers are followers of, what is her name? The goddess. Let's see. I got my pantheon here. Dark gods. Of Edrica? No, not Edrica. The white goddess. So they're followers of the white goddess. And they lurk deep underground, and every so often they pop out and attack. And I think that they're going to have a pretty large attack against 440 Fingers. And the characters can get involved in defending it and then make some choices about, like, you know, will they rescue the leadership of 440 Fingers from the Ghost Walkers? Or they kind of let the Ghost Walkers destroy them, and then, like, what happens next? I think that could be an interesting, that could be an interesting trial, an interesting choice. So if the game goes, if the game gets very conversational and it's time for some action, I think having a Ghost Walker raid against the 440 Fingers will be fun. And then, like, there'll be multiple groups that are coming and multiple groups defending, but the characters will go and get involved in, like, one of the groups. Lazy Encounter Benchmark. We have 4 9th level characters. The lazy benchmark is 18. They can handle up to 18 CRs before it's potentially deadly. We'll keep that in mind. We're just going to drop in some treasure real quick. I'm going to use the artisanal database. I'm going to use the Tales of the Valiant treasure guide, and they are tier 2. I swear I updated this. Let's try again. There it goes. Remember, I kept saying, like, oh, I got to fix that. Well, I finally fixed it, but I had to reload the cache. +1 poisonous astral glaive. That sounds fun. So that looks like some good treasure to drop in there. Let's jump up to our Obsidian notes here. I'm kind of just like filling in the blanks of the things I've got. I've got some monsters. We got some treasure. NPCs. I have Kaizia Tiger Spur. There's probably some other NPCs I should note in here because I forget. So there's Master Kiprak, who's their patron. I need to know who are the current leaders. So Morris Gemborn is the nephew. I think Fame's Wormwatcher is the current. I'm pretty sure I've got that right. And then they have a major domo. Or is it Briz? I don't remember. When was the last time they were in 440 Fingers? It's been a while. It's amazing when you look back and, like, it's been months since they've been back here. Yeah, okay. Morris Gemborn's uncle, Fame's Wormwatcher, has returned. There we go. Quinn Sable, major domo of Morris. This is back in June. So yeah, we've got them, and we're going to put them in the NPC block because I don't think I put them in the NPCs. We'll stick them up here. Pretty sure I don't have Quinn Sable in there. Yeah. So Quinn Sable is in there now. That's why it's good to have, like, an NPC section. So I think that works. Okay, so what are some things that we want to have here? Oh, so it's not really a secret, but something I've been looking forward to doing for a while is that Kaizia Tiger Spur gives them a bag of holding. And the bag of holding is like the artifact that they've been hoping for. They have a helmet teleportation. They don't want that as bad as they want a bag of holding because it has limited their ability to take treasure forever. And now if they get the bag of holding, they can hold a lot. So I think that'd be good. So what other... they're planning to go back to deal with the Dragon of Sapphire Song, who I really ought to write down. Why do I have this up here twice? I don't want to do that. I really got to write down some of these other names because if they go back right away, I'm going to forget. Doomshield is the remaining spell scale vassal of man, sometimes I get so overwhelmed with all the names that I've got. Eustacia Stonegaze. Okay. That's good. Oh, because I don't have enough NPCs. I thought it would be really fun if the Sharpened Coin Mercenary leader... Oh, we need Braddock Grimm. And Aethon Iron Chest is also there. So they now have they have their Elrond Council. Only it's all a bunch of thieves and mercenaries and bad guys. But I think so. Let's see. Boy, I need some secrets and clues here because I got hardly anything. And I think that this is going to lead to quests. So let's see. Hunting down the gold in the drylands. While the fiends of the drylands have no interest in the gold itself, they know how it tempts the souls of mortals. I'm going to drop it in secrets and clues, but it really could go in scenes. Maybe we'll throw it in scenes and some future quests. And I think it's time for some kind of interesting, not that these have not been interesting. Let's see. I have a quest section here. Smuggle the Ermanli Noble. Save. Yeah. So these two look pretty good. Yeah, so these are all the three quests, the next three quests that I want to drop on them. Am I doing this in the wrong section? I did. No, I got it right. So they have an Ermanli Noble out of Ashadar to Nur-in Natal. Save the former Sultana from assassination and recover the gold in the drylands. I almost certainly know which one of those. Oh, and they have another quest, which is save it's kind of their last chance to do this. What were they called? Not the Children of the Sands. The Children of Mott at the Temple of the Blood Mages of Kanesh. I think I'm going to do those three quests before they recover the gold in the drylands. I think we're going to take that one out. So now I have some secrets that could be tied to this. The Sun, an Ermanli Noble. An Ermanli Noble, we need a name. So let's go pull up a random name here. Pellis Dark River. Pelias. Wants their son, Alamar, smuggled out of Ashadar in exchange for information close to the Morza. In secret, Pelias Dark River is Parsis the Hidden in disguise, who wants to smuggle his own son out because he thinks things are pretty unstable. Oh, we need a secret about the Sultana. I think it's Kesmara. Let's find out. Let's see, is in the Adelan Palace in Valera, in the Republic of Valera. Assassins of the Dread Sultan, Osmir al-Stragul, are working to attack her, to kill her, assassinate her. That is a secret. The Blood Mages of Kanesh are working. They're terrible and mostly illegal blood magic on members of the Children of Mott, turning them into something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 secrets there. I've got 4 secrets for the characters. I should have at least one more secret. What other things that have been going on here? I think that Fame's Wormwatcher believes he's sitting in the eye of a storm among the Morza and a possible rebellion, but is safe here where nothing happens. So one notable thing is that one of the members of the guards of Sapphire's Song, this is a secret, one of the guards of Sapphire's Song came from the 440 Fingers and recognized the characters. Now, what they do with that information is going to be pretty interesting. And I don't know that's going to play out right now, but that could be pretty wild. Fantastic locations. We're going to filling out the chambers of the temple, the Shrine of the Lower Left Hand. So, how do I feel about the game? Do I feel pretty good about this? A lot of different things can happen. I've got a lot of material to work with. I'll say that. Like, I know that I can probably improvise everything that's going on from here on out. So, I think we'll be fine. I've got like my fallback, hey, something happens, the night raid by the Ghostwalkers. And I think there's going to be a lot of improv chat, a lot of improv chat with the various NPCs. So this is definitely going to be like a role play and intrigue kind of session. Lots of talk with lots of different characters about lots of different things that are going on, meeting people and learning about new quests and making some choices about what they want to do next and building out the shrine. So there's plenty of character agency here. There's plenty of stuff for them to do. And there's some interesting fights. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. And I don't have time anyway. So what are you going to do? So I'm going to make this. I don't know how big this is going to be, but we'll make it 80 and see. Oh, that was too much. I can do better. Export to PDF. I sure wish it was like make it fit on one page. I want the largest that'll fit on one page. I can almost do 90. I'm doing the scaling. I'm exporting to PDF. Look at that. All right, perfect. I'll print that. There we go. So that is printing out, and I think we are all set. Friends, I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me today while we prepped for my game. If you enjoyed this show and you want more stuff like this and more stuff from me, please consider subscribing to the Sly Flourish newsletter. It is absolutely free to sign up. You get a free adventure generator for signing up, and you get a RPG-related article sent to your inbox every week. It's the best way to stay in touch with all of the things that I do. You can also join me on Patreon. If you can sign up for my Patreon, patrons get access to all kinds of tips, tricks, tools, supplements, adventures, all kinds of stuff, access to our awesome Discord server and more. It's really, really awesome Patreon. People really like it. And you can pick up any of my books, including Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master, Lazy DM's Workbook, Lazy DM's Companion, Forge of Foes, City of Arches, and more. Hats, shirts, cups, calendars. We have all kinds of stuff on the Sly Flourish bookstore. Links for that are in the show notes. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and get out there and play an RPG.